Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video. In this video we are going to be checking out the war exclusive character, and this is him, this is Kapoor. He is a 5-star ascendable in this form, but we don't get him like this, but we're going to look at him as a 5-star ascendable. This is what he looks like. He's a dual specialist dexterity, which is the same as Roxy, and he gets this as a 6-star and as an S Class character. So this is what he looks like visually as a 5-star ascendable. This is what he looks like as a 6-star, so he becomes like, I don't know, the sheriff? I think it's a sheriff. I think his badge is on the wrong side. I guess it's because of the mirrored images that they have in Road to Survival. Now, as a 6-star character, he has 2,107 attack, 2,367 defense, 2,524 HP. His trait is alert and his role is damage. Now we'll look at his rush. It's called Serrated Bulwark. Deal 1,500 main damage to one enemy. All teammates get 80% defense for 2 turns. So not really the greatest damage dealer. He does less damage than Mia with 1,500. He does less damage than Regina, who only does 1,600 to 2 and he does 1,500 to 1. So not the greatest damage dealer by any stretch as a 6-star character. We'll look at his active skill, and it's just heal. And it has an initial cooldown of 3. Up to 2 teammates regain 50% of their max HP. So while he's seen as a damage dealer, he's got quite supportish role. In 80% defense is probably the best part of that rush, if I'm honest. The main damage is not much to speak of. S-Class characters have, close to 10,000 HP. Pete completely nullifies main damage. He cleanses it, so main damage does nothing against Pete teams. Definitely can't really be used on an attack, just based on it being so low. Very strange. Now, the dual specialist again is probably one of the better parts of this character. If this specialist takes damage, the amount taken is reduced based on their current AP. The more AP the specialist has, the less damage they take. If this character's health is above 20% and they take damage that would kill them, their health will be reduced to 19% instead. So basically they get a small get out of jail free card. I think that part of dexterity, the 19%, 20% HP, is not going to be that strong on S-Class characters, unless they're taking trait damage, I guess. This guy you're going to get so defensively as well, so, there's questions going to be about how much damage can even be done in the first place. It is going to be reduced as well because of the first part of dexterity. I don't think dexterity is great, but it's better than, one of those parts of dexterity by themselves, so it's, a combination dexterity isn't too bad. Now, he doesn't have an attached weapon, and that's what he looks like as a 6-star. So as an S-Class character, this is what he looks like. His stats get massively boosted, of course. He's over 10,000 stats combined. It's 12,000 pretty much, over 12,000. 4,044 attack, 3,988 defense, and 4,281 HP. So quite a balanced overall character, kind of support in how his stats are compared to 6-star characters in terms of balanced stats characters as generally support characters. His role, again, still damage. I don't really get it. We'll look at his adrenaline rush. It's called Serrated Bastion this time, 76 AP cost. Now it's doing 1,500 main damage to a line of enemies. So still, the main damage is really just underwhelming for a damage dealer. It's terrible. All teammates get 80% defense for 2 turns, so exactly the same as it was as a 6-star character. Now we'll check out the active skill, and it's heal still. Initial cooldown of 3. Up to 2 teammates regain 75% of their max HP, so boosted from 50%. Not really that big a boost from the 6-star character, if I'm honest. And very, very underwhelming as an S-Class character, particularly the 1,500 main damage. The 80% defense is pretty nice as a secondary. He's going to work quite well on defense teams in terms of making them really, really tanky. Now his specialist skill is going to remain the same, nothing changes there. He doesn't get an attached weapon, it's exactly the same again. Now, as an S-Class character, he is claimable in the museum right now. If you've got 1 head from the last CRW, you can claim him. As you can see, I've claimed mine. And when you claim him, it is an instant S-Class character. As you can see, this is him in my roster, Kapoor. And he's tier 1, level 1, and I'll obviously have to upgrade his rush, upgrade his levels. Now to upgrade him himself, you need to get these whole rotting heads. To get whole rotting heads, you need to hand in 40 rotting heads per 1 whole rotting head. So it's going to take some time, but at least they're going to be giving us this S-Class straight away, so they're usable instantly. And, our gathering of the rotting heads via war are just not going towards a museum collection, kind of what we have with Pete right now, kind of what we have with Priya, these sort of characters where the collection items are just sort of storage in the museum until we actually get the character. Then the collection items mean nothing again. Now, as an S-Class character, overall, my opinion is he is really bad. Obviously, he is very underwhelming. This character is meant to be the motivation behind grinding out war, and I don't really see there being much motivation from anybody, from top to bottom. I don't see people looking at this and going, I'm going to go for the next milestone because then I've got a better chance of getting Kapoor to tier 3 to tier 4 quicker, making people want to war more than they already do. If anything, this is going to demotivate people rather than motivate people, because this character, again, I think the deal 1500 main damage, if we compare him to Raulito's bleed lasts for 4 turns and it does 1500 bleed to 2 characters. So that's 6,000 damage that Raulito's bleed can do without being lacerated. This guy does 1500 main damage to a line of enemies, which is weaker than Regina as a 6-star. I'm honestly kind of just baffled at how bad this character is. He's gonna be good against maybe 6-star characters, but in terms of S-Class characters, this isn't a great S-Class character. I'm not going to be looking at an S-Class and going, this guy's going to destroy 6-star characters. I'm getting flashbacks to the beginning of the 6-star era where I don't want to be saying, this 6-star is going to destroy 5-star characters. This S-Class is going to destroy 6-star characters. It's whether he's going to be good against S-Class characters. And he's not. That 1500 maybe is not good enough. That should have been maybe, I don't know, 2,500, exactly the same as Mia. Even that isn't that great. It's okay. It's probably going to be a third of the HP of most defense team characters in the S-Class era. And like I said, it can be cleansed as well if you've got Pete, you know. That MAME's just going to be useless against the Pete teams. So a big letdown. I think it's nice to get an S-Class character. You know, it's going to be nice for other parts of the game. I guess free-to-play kind of need to have access to S-Class characters, but this is meant to be for everybody. This character should have been decent. It doesn't have to be like proper killer. I think the 80% defense is going to be very frustrating for defense teams just based on how defensive those teams are at the moment. The kind of accessibility that we've got to certain characters is a problem already in the S-Class era, in terms of there's no offensive leaders for melee, but then one of the 3 characters that were given out was a melee character. That character is massively crippled based on the fact that there's no S-Class attacking leader. If you picked up Krista, there's an obvious avenue that you can go down and pick up Priya, and the synergy between those 2 characters is great. Whereas if you picked up James, you're going to be having to use a 6-star leader. Now, it took them 2 years to get out an accessible AP on attack leader for strong characters in the 6-star era. I'm really hoping that they get out an AP on attack S-Class character for strong characters, well, just for melee in general, hopefully quite soon, because again, like I said, I don't know why there's always that void, but there's a void there at the moment. And this character could have been that character. This character could have been the character that actually filled a need, and that's a need. This fills nothing at the moment. It just fills a spot on your defense team. That's it. It isn't like a spot that you have a role for. It's just stats. He's got 1200 base stats with 30 vet rings. I'm sure he's going to be annoying with coming up against him with 6 stars without a doubt, but that would be the same for every single S-Class character that would be released. Every single S-Class character is going to be annoying with 6-star characters. He's not good long term, and it's not going to be quick to get him. Now the heads you need to go for, you need 40 of these half-rotting heads to get a whole rotting head, and then you need 3 of those to get the character up. So that's 120 to get him to tier 2. If it's the same as Krista and James, it'll be 7 whole rotting heads to get him to tier 3 and 12 whole rotting heads to get him to tier 4. Like I said, if this is the same as the knives for Krista and James, it could be different, however. If it is those numbers, that's 880 of these half rotting heads that you're going to need. If you come first place in CRW, I think you get 450, so potentially within 2 CRWs you're going to have enough done to be able to max out the character. So it's most likely going to be more whole rotting heads that you're going to need to tier this character up. But do share your thoughts on this character. What are your thoughts on being able to acquire him instantly? And that's pretty much one of the best things about him. Being able to acquire him instantly, the defense buff, and his specialist skill. Obviously his stats in S class is going to be an S class character. His stats are always going to be boosted. But the rest of it, the rush, the heal, it's a little bit meh. I'm going to be honest, the damage part of that heal for a damage dealer, meh. But that's the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.